Sounds wild that it could change your life as much as I'm claiming it can. This is it. So if we have a fish tank in our home and the water's gone really dirty and the fish aren't doing well, this is my extension to you to do that without shame. Like, you can do the self-reflective work without being mean to yourself about it. Meditation, walking, water with electrolytes, gratitude and appreciation. We're all seeking love through our desire to look a certain way or feel a certain way. Even though I do this all day for my day job as a teacher, it still kind of feels weird to be doing it at a camera, although I warm up pretty fast. I feel like I need something for my hand. Maybe I'll make a cup of tea. Is that weird? Today I wanted to make a video talking about health and wellness. Holistic health has been a big buzzword on the internet, and personally I'm so thankful for that because I found so many good resources and information that have helped me heal, particularly during my pregnancy and my postpartum period. However, I do know that there also tends to be some toxicity around topics like wellness or holistic health. I really wanted to, both for myself and for the people watching my channel, get clear about where I stand on the topic, because I know it can be kind of a hot button topic for some people. So today I really just want to speak from my own heart and truth about what I know and what my experiences are, and the place I'm coming from on this channel when I share things. What I'm sharing truly comes from a place of goodness for myself and for others. You know, I'm not gonna give particular recommendations. I'll just speak on what I do. Mostly what I'm sharing will be more mindset type stuff. When we see this type of lose 20 pounds in a month or heal your nervous system in 10 days, that stuff I think initially does have good intent. You know, people want things fast, they want them quick, and they want them easy. So statements like that are inflated to get people to buy the program or product or whatever the person is selling. But those statements are untrue, because even if you did lose 20 pounds in a month, it's not sustainable. It had to be a painful process. True health and happiness, it is essential that it comes from a loving space for yourself, your body, your mind. For me, it's helpful when I'm making these choices to think about my husband and my daughter. Sometimes I even bring to mind my students and how I care about them and how they benefit from me being happy and healthy. And I love them, so I do it from a place of love for myself so I can spread that love outwards. I have gotten to the point where I do love myself and I love to feel good, and so I'm doing it for myself, you know, as equally as I'm doing it for those I love. But I guess the suggestion there is, if you're feeling like you're in a place where, you know, it's hard to think about making these changes for yourself, it can help to extend your gaze outward and to think about who in your life will benefit from the choices you're making for yourself. So yeah, I guess that's the first part. I did take notes to ask myself some questions, so maybe I will start with that. And I've been watching Madison Gray lately, and she's so just freaking real. So I've seen her look at her computer, and I love it because all this stuff, people all the YouTube, Instagram, it's curated. There are people out there sharing who are super real and authentic, but still, if I turned my camera around, you would see that my house is messy from my 1.5-year-old. I'm asking questions to myself. What does true health and happiness mean to you, and how does it differ from the glow up or weight loss trends that are often marketed to women? Health and happiness for me equate with self-acceptance, choosing oneself, love, rest, and self-study. And I think self-study, maybe, I want to talk about this more on my channel, but really is like, if you're gonna hop on the train of doing this stuff, I really think the first step is to turn inward, and as hard as it might be, to look at your own unhealthy patterns and celebrate like the goodness in you and the things you love and what makes you happy and what makes you feel whole, and to move towards that. So it's twofold, confronting those negative patterns and bringing awareness to the things that bring you joy and make you the most happy in this world. When we're trying to let go of a habit, it's important to replace like a bad habit with a healthy habit. And that's where it started for me. I started implementing meditation, and through my meditation practice, I've been able to let go of my unhealthy habits that I had. And trust me, I had a lot. That's for another video. But yeah, to just find that reflection piece, make a video where I talked about like my own personal journey with meditation and type of meditation I practice. But if you're new to meditation, I truly recommend the Headspace app. I'm not sponsored by them. I literally would love that. That would be so cool. So I could just share this more with the world. I use the app with my students. We started school 2 weeks ago, and I introduced meditation. We did a little guided meditation on a raisin, and they had to write an essay describing the raisin without saying it was a raisin. I got some funny feedback. Yeah, some resistance from some students too, but it was cool. Overall, they really enjoyed it. But anyways, I used the app with them. I've gotten super positive feedback. It's really like neutral and science-based, but very inviting. Anyways, so meditation or doing some journaling. Honestly, I get on Pinterest and I like look up journal prompts. Like I would search journal prompts for building healthy habits or something of the such, and then just sitting down and reflecting on yourself. Yeah, to me, glow ups come from within. Like, I love fashion and I love to feel beautiful, but I've really learned that I feel the most beautiful when I've done the inner work. And like, by that I don't even mean, addressing my thoughts and my behaviors, but I also mean like drinking water or eating healthy. That's what's really had my skin and my hair glow up. I remember I asked one of my friends from high school who's a hairdresser after postpartum, I was like, what do you recommend for hair growth? I'm sure a lot of women know one side effect of having a baby is that you can lose some hair. And she was like, vitamins and eating healthy. And it's so true. You really have to address the inside first. And so to me, that's it. I also think another important piece that I've discovered is that I have been on this path to, I don't want to say healing because I hate buzzwords again, but I've been on this path of self-reflection and learning about myself and making choices that serve me best. And another piece I've realized that I think is an important piece to happiness and health is to not only be caring for yourself, but to be caring for the people who exist within the walls of your home. I think it can be easy to want to start building that relationship with yourself and caring for yourself and then pushing other things to the side. At least that's what I noticed for myself. And I never felt like I was doing it hardcore, but there were definitely days where I came home and I was like, I need to take a bath and drink my tea. And, for me, that just surfaced other spaces and issues where I wasn't equally being present for my daughter and my husband. And I learned that, they are an extension of me. And if I'm not equally being present with them the way I am for myself, put your oxygen mask on first, but it wouldn't matter if, at least for me, it wouldn't matter if my relationships with them aren't also feeling healthy and happy and strong. So that's a big part of it for me too, is the self-study. And then really from there, once you get to know yourself deeply, you'll start to learn what foods feel good to you and what foods don't, how much sleep your body needs. I've even been able to learn, I'm a school teacher. I've always considered myself an extrovert, but I seriously need alone time without stimulation. Maybe that's just a new mom thing too. I'm sure moms out there can relate hardcore to this feeling. But I feel like I'm kind of talking, not in circles, but theoretically too. And I'm the type of person, I don't like theoretics without pragmatism. So some real things I think that could be done to go with this introspective piece that I'm talking about, learning about yourself. For a starting point, a health journal where you look at what you're eating and think about how it or not even think, but get into your body and explore how it makes you feel. I know that can be a huge challenge, and I know for a lot of people that might be triggering too if you have some negative patterns around food. But this is my extension to you to do that without shame. You can do the self-reflective work without being mean to yourself about it. That is a thing that can happen. I still fall into the negative self-talk patterns from time to time, but doing the work to reflect on what's going on in your life doesn't have to also mean being mean to yourself by any means. So a food journal could be a really good way to start, and also tracking I guess just everything you're intaking. So if you do take medications or supplements, but also what kind of liquids, how does coffee make you feel? How do you feel the next day after you feel alcohol? Welcome to my 30s. I felt like freaking death, so I don't drink anymore. But I don't think that's a must. Some people might do well with drinking, in moderation, some wine or whatever their preference is. And then the other piece that I was talking about is some journal prompts, just getting to know yourself. Whether or not we think we know ourselves or not, we do deep down, deep down we do. We know that intuition's always there. We know what parts of our life aren't working and what parts are, or what parts of our life are hurting us more than they're helping us, and what our true desires, what truly makes us happy is. So getting clear on that, because I'm kind of saying, I don't like the term holistic health, but health really is not just what you're eating. It's not just moving your body. It's literally all consumption, what you're reading, what you're looking at on the internet, who you're spending your time with, what you do for work, your communication with the people around you, your communication with yourself, your hygiene, doing things that bring you joy, working with your hands, using your mind, being kind to others. All of this is what contributes to true health and happiness. And that's not just my own personal belief. That is a hard scientific fact. Okay, why do you think focus on appearance rather than overall wellness can be harmful to women's self-esteem and mental health? How do I want to answer that? Why do you think the focus on? I've heard this analogy a lot lately, I think on Madison Gray's channel, but I also went to a talk by a doctor at a local healthy eating cafe. in town, and the analogy is when you have a fish in a fish tank and he's not doing well because the water's dirty. You don't blame it on the fish. You change the water in the tank to help the fish. Okay, this is the analogy. This is it. So if we have a fish tank in our home and the water's gotten really dirty and the fish aren't doing well, the fish aren't gonna do better if we just like Windex the outside of the tank or cover it up with, I don't know, put a flower vase in front of it when people come over. Or, this is a good analogy too, take the fish and its water and put it in a different tank, but it's the same water. Like, that's not gonna heal the fish. And we can all think about that and think like, yeah, that's dumb. It doesn't make sense. But that's how we live a lot of times as humans. We're all seeking love through our desire to look a certain way or feel a certain way. We just want to feel safe and we want to feel loved. Right, but going to Ulta and buying a new mascara, this is something I used to do, is not really gonna make us feel loved. I mean, maybe temporarily we'll feel loved by ourselves because we're giving ourselves something, but that's not really going to leave us feeling happy or healthy. I think to talk about like exercise too, I had a toxic relationship with exercise. Like, I literally hated exercising. I mean, I did it because I'm a pretty like determined, consistent type of person. So I'd like force myself to do, but it never felt good to me. It always felt like something I had to do to fit a particular mold, to look a certain way. And when I self-reflect, it's like, yeah, to have felt love from other people or safe or acceptance, especially when you're younger and you're trying to make friends or find a partner, things like that. You could work out all you want to fit in a particular pair of jeans, to take a picture for some kind of external validation from the outside world, but that is not healthy and that is not going to bring you happiness. And even if the world is looking at you and being like, hell yeah, you look bomb in those jeans, and you probably freaking do, but if you're not coming from a place of love and acceptance within yourself, then it literally matters none. Like, it literally actually matters none. And you're not, I hate to use the word achievement, but you're not going to be in the place that you actually desire to be, which is to feel good, to feel happy, to feel whole, because that's what's underneath all of this acquisition of some kind of exterior, is an interior feeling. And that's not to say like here's my brain. I teach teenagers, so I think of like every comeback someone could have at me. Like, but what about this? But did you think about that? But you're wrong because of this. So yeah, that's a dialogue I have in my head. I have done the inner work to feel grounded in what I say and share despite that. But yeah, I'm thinking all these things. Like, yes, I love to buy clothes. I love to look cute. I love to put mascara on, even though I just gave that Ulta analogy. I really do. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, if you're just seeking approval from other people, it's not like you're never gonna be where you want to be or feel how you want to feel, because you're doing it for others and you're not doing it for yourself, and you're probably neglecting pieces of yourself that need love and care because no one else knows you. Like, also, pro tip, I tell this to my teenagers all the time, no one's concerned about you. They're concerned about themselves. So when they're looking at you, all they're thinking about is themselves. I want to look like that too. Or I don't want to look like that. But it has nothing to actually do with you as a person or who you are. They really only care about how they're feeling, just like you do. Okay, let's see what else. Some pragma. some pragmatic tips I would give. So what I did, I have lost all my baby weight, all my pregnancy weight, postpartum weight, and more. And I can tell you, I feel more beautiful now than really I ever have. It's going to sound crazy, but I really don't think about what I'm eating. And people listen, like, there is no magic. The magic is just in the process of learning about yourself and creating these healthy habits. Okay, so I said, what are some practical steps women can take to prioritize their true well-being over toxic trends that emphasize weight loss or appearance changes? I want to make some pretty specific content around what I do or what I would recommend, because I am a certified yoga instructor now. How cool is that? The first thing I would recommend is start drinking water. Literally drink more freaking water. It'll help your skin. When you feel hydrated, you sleep better. If you want to get fancy with it, add some good electrolytes to your water, like Element. I seriously love that brand. I'm not sponsored by them, but I do love their electrolytes. But there's tons of great electrolyte brands. If you go to like a natural grocers, I would just be wary of like Liquid Hy-Vee has, I think there's one with no sugar, but there are additives and a lot of them do have sugar in it, and you can get good tasting electrolytes without sugars in them. So drinking water. My next one is walking. Walking is such an underrated form of movement. You can listen to a podcast while you're walking. You can walk your dog. You can listen to music. You can talk to a friend. You can talk on the phone. I have a friend who reads while he's walking, and I don't understand that, but I love him to death. Yeah, I don't know. I also had a student who walked and read at the same time, but yeah, that was a lot. I love them all, but that was a lot. I would also recommend meditation, even just starting with 5 minutes a day. If you don't want to get the Headspace app, you can go to their YouTube channel and listen to some free meditations on there, even just doing 3 to 5 minutes. I mean, I like sit back and I think about like how truly wild it is that like when I tell people I meditate, 20 minutes twice a day, like, listen, I know there's some people who really have a crunch for time, but I know there's also a lot of people who are binging Netflix and staring at their cell phones for way more than 40 minutes a day. So finding 3 to 5 minutes, some tough love here. I'm a little bit of a tough love person. It ain't no big deal. Like, you're making excuses if you cannot find 3 minutes. So water, possibly add some electrolytes, good electrolytes, walking, even if it's just for 15 minutes, meditation, 3 to 5 minutes. I think you will be amazed, even in just a week, a difference it can make. I had gratitude on my list. When I'm really like in my body feeling appreciative for things, even when I feel sick, or I feel anxious or down in the dumps, which, I probably will share eventually on this channel. I don't want to negate that part of my life or, make it seem like I'm just this as joyous as can be all the time or haven't faced challenges, because I wouldn't be who I am without those other parts of myself. Where was I going with this? Oh, when I'm really down, if I can just like visualize in my mind's eye, even if it's just for like 30 seconds, things I'm grateful for. There's this Headspace meditation that I'm doing right now, and it's about appreciation, and it's all about asking yourself the question in the third person. So like, who or what are you most appreciative right now? And Andy, the teacher on Headspace, he started Headspace. He says, like, don't judge yourself with what comes to mind. If it's not your children or your husband that comes to mind, if it's like today I did it and it was sitting out in the sun, like feeling the frickin' sun on my face, I can just bask in that appreciation of that feeling. So I've said drinking water with electrolytes, walking, 3 to 5 minutes meditation, finding appreciation and gratitude. And then again, everyone is so different when it comes to health, and that every body is so different. And that's why you really have to do that self-study piece that I was talking about in the first part of this video. But if I was going to make one dietary suggestion that's really changed my life, is to just completely cut fast food, processed food, and to add in real whole foods. So just, I don't know, even just ensuring that you eat one piece of fruit and one vegetable a day. It sounds wild that it could change your life as much as I'm claiming it can, but again, I said it takes time. It's not an overnight process. It's a constant, I don't know if constant, but continually undoing. At least it has been for me, of unhealthy habits and patterns. But, and look, I'm thinking of all the disclaimers. I know it's not accessible for everyone. I know, but also, like, in that self-reflection piece, sit and ask yourself, are you a person who goes to the grocery store to buy food at your home? Then just buy some more fruits and vegetables. Like, that's a real thing you can do. Shop on the outside of the store. Cutting out fast food and processed snacks is also a real thing you can do. I'm not an extremist. I'm not going to sit here and say cut out all processed foods, because my mind goes to, okay, well, what's processed food? It's like anything that was taken from the whole and made into something else. So even if you're eating like the cleanest pasta in the world made from a small town in Italy, it's still processed because it's flour, eggs. I don't even know how to make a pasta, but anything that's like cooked is essentially processed. It's going through a process. Yeah. Cutting out the junk and adding in one fruit and one vegetable. I think this is such a doable regimen that will change. Literally, if you do this, please let me know and get back to me in like 2 weeks and tell me how much better you start feeling. I promise you can do it. Look, I know it feels hard. I've felt how effing hard it feels when I was like in a super stressed, depressed place, especially during COVID. It did not feel easy or like something I wanted to do at all, because I was getting all my dopamine from social media. But it's doable, and you do have the time. You really, really do. Most people do have the time. Yeah. Anyways, this is my ish on health and lifestyle for today. I feel really devoted to continuing to share online, even just for myself. I know that sounds cliche, but like really I do find joy in it, and it's like a healthy habit for me. It helps me process and think about the choices I'm making and the world around me. So yeah, thanks for watching, I guess is something that people say, and I will be back with more soon.